We'd like to invite you to watch the English news on the Essential Television channel of Đồng Nai Province. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday afternoon in Đồng Hoi Commune, Đông Anh District, Hanoi City, a large number of people and delegations came to pay their respects to Comrade Nguyễn Phú Trọng, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Vietnam. People lined up in an orderly manner, waiting to pay their respects to General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. The line of people spread out at the cultural house of Lai Da Village, Đồng Hoi Commune, Đông Anh District, Hanoi City. Many people brought portraits of General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. Many people could not hide their emotions at the passing of the General Secretary, expressing their condolences for his passing. This morning, 500 groups with about 14,000 people registered to pay their respects to the General Secretary. Yesterday, Comrade Thor Thanh Sơn, Standing Deputy Secretary of Đồng Nai Provincial Party Committee, led a delegation of the Party Committee, Government and people of Đồng Nai Province to pay their respects to General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng at Ho Nguyen Ho, Ho Chi Minh City. The delegation included Comrades Thái Bảo, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, Võ Tấn Đức, Acting Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Cao Văn Quang, Chairman of the Provincial Vietnam Farland Front Committee, along with comrades in the Provincial Party Committee Standing Committee and former provincial leaders of all periods. In his deep sorrow, Comrade Thor Thanh Sơn, Standing Deputy Secretary of Đồng Nai Provincial Party Committee, offered incense before the portrait of General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. Then the delegation of Đồng Nai Province observed a moment of silence to commemorate the great contributions of General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng to the revolutionary cause of the party, the country, and the people. During his life of revolutionary activities and work, General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng devoted all his efforts to the glorious revolutionary cause of the party, the state, and the people. After the funeral, Comrade Thor Thanh Sơn and his fellow comrades went to the room to register the condolence book for General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. The Ministry of Industry and Trade requests that traders strictly implement the government's and the Ministry of Industry and Trade's directives on solutions to ensure adequate supply of gasoline for production, business, and consumption. In 2024, the total minimum source of petroleum allocated by the Ministry of Industry and Trade to petroleum traders is a total of more than 28 million cubic meters per ton of petroleum of all kinds. Estimated consumption in the last 6 months of 2024 is about 13.2 million cubic meters per ton. Inventory is from 1.8 to 2 million tons. The Ministry of Industry and Trade requires units to closely monitor the production situation of the two oil refineries Dung Quất and Nghi Sơn and the import of traders, the situation of petroleum consumption to have solutions to ensure domestic petroleum supply. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris yesterday pressed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hard over the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. Israel has the right to defend itself, Harris told reporters, and how they defend themselves is very important. Harris also said she raised serious concerns about the level of suffering in Gaza when she met Netanyahu at the White House. "I will not be silent," she said. Harris' remarks were seen as reflecting what could be a shift in the Biden administration's handling of the Gaza war. Hours earlier, Biden had pushed for a ceasefire in the Gaza war during talks with Netanyahu. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said there was still some distance between Israel and Hamas militants in the efforts to reach a ceasefire, but the two sides were getting closer. More than 25,000 residents and tourists in the town of Jasper, Alberta province in western Canada had to evacuate yesterday due to a fierce forest fire. The wildfires are so intense that they could destroy up to 50% of structures, and firefighters are scrambling to save as many buildings as possible. This is every community's worst nightmare, Premier Daniel Smith said. We are looking at potentially 30 to 50% structural damage. It's going to be a significant rebuilding process. There are currently 176 wildfires burning in Alberta, more than 50 of which are out of control. About 10 of them are near the border with British Columbia, which has 423 wildfires and dozens of evacuation orders and warnings. You have just watched English news on the Central Television channel of Đồng Nai Province. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.